Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another Fast Track training module. On this video, I want to talk about scripts, particularly those scripts that you might use when cold calling. Now, there have been a lot of real estate scripts around for many years. And I know when I first got in the business, I looked at the script that the brokerage wanted me to use when I was cold calling for sale by owners and expireds. Honestly, I read through this script and it was so canned and convoluted and unnatural that I refused to use it. I just couldn't do it. These scripts are designed to really grill the person on the other end of the phone and get them to give you a lot of information before ever agreeing to let you come out and look at their home in order to attempt to list it. So what I did was I threw out all those scripts and I just kind of adapted a little script of my own. And it really wasn't a script. I just pretty much said the same thing every time. Now, think about this. If you've seen some of these scripts, they're very formalized. They're not very conversational. They read something like, hello, is this Mr. Smith? Hi, Mr. Smith. This is Tim Knox. I'm a realtor with Revolved Realty here in Huntsville. How are you today? Click, right? And that's just the introduction. So immediately, these scripts have you coming across as a telemarketer, all right, as a telephone salesperson, as someone who has not been in the business long enough to have a script memorized, okay? So I immediately got rid of those scripts because even if you do engage the person on the other end of the phone, if you start asking them a lot of these questions, they're going to hang up on you. You know, one of the things that I found faulty with these scripts is they were literally designed to get you the listing while you're on the phone, or at the very least to get a commitment from the person that if you come out there, they are going to sign with you today. It's the old car salesman trick is, what do we got to do to put you in this car today? So those tactics, I'm sure they work for some agents. They would not work for me. So I thought about it. And I said, okay, my goal with this phone call is simply to get in front of the seller, to get in the house, to get them to give me a tour of the house so I can get to know them a little better, and then hopefully talk to them about perhaps listing their home with me. So I want to talk first about the telephone part of the process. So what I would do, and this is what I recommend you do as well, is I just did a very simple, quick phone call, and it went something like this. Rather than saying, hello, is this Mr. Smith? Hi, Mr. Smith. This is Tim Knox with Revolved Realty here in Huntsville. How are you? I would personalize it. I would change my intonation on my voice to indicate, or to perhaps to hint, that I was actually someone they knew. The first thing I did was I got rid of the last names. Rather than, you know, if I'm calling John Smith, rather than saying Mr. Smith, I'm going to call him John. Now, if an elderly person answers the phone and I can tell by their voice that they're elderly, then I will give them the respect of calling them Mr. or Mrs. But if it's someone, you know, my age or younger, I'm not going to use last names. I simply do this. Ring, ring. They answer the phone. Hey, is this John? Hey, John, Tim with Revolved Realty. How are you, man? You see what I did there? The tone of my voice, the fact that I didn't use last names, the fact that I have an air about my voice that says, you know me, John. John is not going to hang up on me. Because what's happening in John's mind, he's thinking, wow, this guy sounds like somebody I know. I don't want to be ugly and hang up. So it's a very casual greeting. Hey, John, Tim with Revolved Realty. How are you today? Usually they will say, well, I'm fine. How are you? Well, what I like to do is come back with something a little, you know, a little funny. Hey, man, any day above ground's a good day. Or if I've been out and it's a rainy day, hey, man, I've been out in the rain so much, I'm feeling like a duck. Any kind of little comment that you make, that's the icebreaker. It's going to get them to smile a little bit. Maybe they chuckle. And then I get right to the meat of it. All right. Immediately, I go right into the reason I'm calling. And I do not say things like, Mr. Smith, is your home at 123 Elm Street still for sale? Sir, have you had any interest in that home? Have you had any offers? This phone call is not the time to interview the client. This phone call, again, the point of this call is to get in front of them in the home. So I immediately go to it. Hey, John, I know you're busy. I'm not going to take a lot of your time, and that's something else you should do. Use phrases like, I know you're busy. I'm not going to take up much of your time, really quickly, all right? Because that lets them know I'm not going to be on the phone long with them. Because every other realtor in town who's reading scripts is trying to keep them on the phone for 45 minutes. If you are on the phone more than 2 minutes, you are talking too much. All right. So, hey, John, really quick, I know you're busy. Your house on Elm Street, is it still for sale? Yes or no? All right. If they say yes, hey, great, John, if I had a qualified buyer for that house, would you be willing to pay my commission? And again, a lot of it has to do with the intonation in your voice and how you say things. Hey, John, if I had a qualified buyer for that house, would you be willing to pay my commission? Now, typically, they may say, well, do you have a qualified buyer? Don't ever lie to a client, ever. What I say is, you know, John, I work with clients in that area all the time, but I don't really know if I have a good fit for your house, which leads me to my next question. John, if I stop by tomorrow at 3, can you give me a really quick tour of the property just so I know if it will fit my clients? That's the phone call. John, is your house still for sale? Are you willing to pay me a commission? Can I stop by tomorrow at 3 for a really quick tour? All right. So that's it in a nutshell. That's the way you deliver it. Now, if John says, well, tomorrow at 3 is no good, well, I'm going to say, well, how about Friday at 4? Don't ever, ever ask a prospect, well, what time's good for you? Because no time is good for them as far as they're concerned. So if you give them 2 options, is tomorrow at 3 good for you or is Friday at 9? Give them 2 options, let them pick. All right? Don't ever say, well, what time is good for you? Because if they make that appointment, honestly, they're going to forget the appointment. So, great, John. Friday at 3 it is. John, let me get your email address because I'm going to email you some info. I'll email you a calendar invitation, and I'll also send you an email with a picture of me so you know this face when I show up at your door. Ha, ha, ha. All right? The goal there is just to get their email address. Because what I want to do is I'm going to set up a calendar invitation. I'm also going to send them an email. John, great talking to you today. Can't wait to see your house at 123 Elm Street, Friday at 3 o'clock. See you then. By the way, attached is more information about me. And what I would attach, if you're doing the flat fee, you can send them the flat fee structure. You can send them the why me. I just want to give them a little more information about me and the company ahead of time. All right, so John, give me your email address. I'll get that to you this afternoon. John, I'll see you Friday at 3. Hang up the phone. That literally is my method of cold calling. Hey, just John, Tim with Revolved Realty. How are you, man? Great. Any day above day is a good ground. John, I know you're busy. Just got a couple of quick questions for you. Is the home at Elm Street still for sale? Are you willing to pay me a commission if I have a qualified buyer? And can I come see it tomorrow at 3? That is what got me 75 listings my first year in the business. All right. So what you do then is you will follow up. I would always do the calendar invitation. I would email John the invitation. I would send John an email. Thanks, John, for your time. Attach some information to it. I would text John. John, thanks a lot. See you tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I follow up with that. Now, the day of our appointment, I go back and I confirm. I'll send a text. John, looking forward to meeting you today at 3. Boom. I will send an email. John, looking forward to seeing you today at 3. Boom. That way, when I get there, I know John knows I'm coming. John's going to keep our appointment, and he's going to let me in the door. He's going to give me the tour of the house, and then that is when I'm going to ask all of those questions and find out all of the information I need to convince John to list his home with me. All right. In the next video, we're going to take the next step from after the phone call happens to getting prepared to going in John's house and talking to John about listing their home, okay? Try that, okay? I can actually provide you with everything I just said in an email that you can then practice. Your goal should be not to sound like you're reading a script, okay? Think about it this way. You're just calling to get some information on a house. Have you ever bought anything, right? You make the phone call to make sure it's still available. Can you come see it? That is the same mentality you should use when doing cold calls, whether to FSBOs, expireds, absentee owners. It doesn't matter. Throw away that script. Do this, and you will get appointments. You will get in the door. All right, if you got questions and comments, drop them in below. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video.